Hey, so this is going to be my attempt at installing my second remote valve on my 2021 Kubota MX5400. I already have the first remote valve here. This is the original old cast iron type. So if you're looking at parts and they're asking you if you have the old cast iron type or the new L bracket, this is actually what it's referring to. So the original style is like this. This is cast iron. And the new style has an L bracket that drops down from this frame beam here. And it has basically just all the quick connect couplers that are inside of this. They're just mounted to plates now. So it's a little cleaner, probably a little easier, less dust collection as you can see here. A little dirty. Anyways, second remote valve is gonna go right up next to the first remote valve. And I'm pointing at it here. What I'm pointing at is actually the cover. These three 12mm bolts. You'll need a 12mm socket. We'll take that cover off. Should be some O-rings in there. That'll either stay and we'll get sandwiched in with the new remote valve, which is right here. And then the cover will just go on the other side. So these two coupler pieces here will go on. I put the O-ring on. And they'll go in there like that. That'll face the rear of the tractor. So this is down, facing down. That's where your lever will go. Just right here. So we got new bolts. I already put the silver couplers here I already put in and tightened. They come, at least mine did, with Teflon tape on them. So just a quick, easy install. These are the valve type, I believe. And then this just slips in. There is like a shoulder or an indent in there to stop it. That's the rear. So I may have misspoke. I incorrectly said that shoulder here on the inside of your coupler assembly, the cast iron piece should face to the rear. That is incorrect. You want that shoulder piece on the inside there. You want that facing forward. So you can drop that down like that. Put your quick connect couplers in there. And then these C-clips, lock these in. And those will face to the rear like that. And then what that allows is obviously when you go to push in your hose, it'll push that back and grab that quick connect for you. Otherwise, you have to slide these out and do that yourself every time, which wouldn't make a lot of sense. So I wanted to make sure I clarified that because I didn't remember what I said. So we'll get those in there. And then it's got this recess. That's the bottom. And that's so that you can put your nut and split washer on. Comes with longer bolts. I'll drop down through the pre-existing. Good to go. So it just slips in there like that. Not that you really need to see that. And then you just put your little cap retainer on there. Hoses have red, which are all indicated in the manual, and for which valve. I'm putting a tilt on. So this is a tilt hydro cylinder. And let me get you guys the part numbers. So I don't do this a ton. Apologies up front. I have free editing software, so yeah, apologies there up front how this comes out. But hopefully it helps somebody. So again, for the 5400 tractor, I'm looking at the MX5882 second position valve and the double acting valve type L8303. Again, this is the original type. These numbers have been superseded by the updated L bracket. And then if you wanted a float valve, that would be different as well. I have a video out there for the front third function valve as well. I did that. It came out pretty good and was overall pretty easy. I was told 45 minutes of labor at the dealership if you could get your tractor to them and have them do it. So I think it's a pretty straightforward job. If you have simple hand tools and knowledge and willingness to do this, you'll be okay. So we're gonna pop those three, again, 12 millimeter bolts off. That cover is going to come off. I do have a drip pan in case any hydro fluid comes out. I'm not expecting much. The guys didn't tell me anything, so hopefully they're not trying to get a laugh on me. But so I had pliers here just to pop out these rubber caps or the plastic caps that protected the threads. Again, 12 millimeter socket. Couple adjustables which I used to tighten this guy. If you had a 22 millimeter socket, or I'm sorry, a 22 millimeter open end wrench, that's what that is. I don't. I only had it up to a 21. And then I have a 12 millimeter open. The manual actually says you can take this fender off, but unless you're taking this wheel off, which I'm not taking all those off, I don't know how much more access you would gain. So, all right, I'm going to snip these videos together and we'll come back once I get the cover off. All right, I got the cover pulled off there on this valve. The O-ring stayed for me, so those can stay there. I did lose a little bit of hydraulic oil. I mean, not much at all, but you're gonna want something down to catch a little bit of fluid because it definitely ran down here. I gently set the first remote valve there on just sitting down there on that drain or plug there. So I wiped that clean, and here's the cover. I wiped that clean. This is the cover is gonna sit on the second valve here, so it'll sit like that if you're looking at the tractor here from that perspective. So put the two large O-rings. There's only two. They're round. I mean, you pop it out. It's just a normal round O-ring, and then you put that in there, and the cover will sit up against that. And then you have a little O-ring. There's a couple in here that I don't believe we're going to use because this kit could be first, second, or third, I believe. So I don't see where these are going to go. I'll post an update for sure if I find out different. And then we'll come back to the lever and everything. But these are going to be for attaching your lever. These are for the longer bolts for the kit here. All right, let me get this installed and then we'll come back. All right, so a quick installation tip, install caveat. I found out why they want you to take off that inner fender. These bolts, if you try to line these parts up on the tractor and then try to put one of these bolts in, you're gonna hit the fender. There's not enough clearance in between the original valve there and that fender wall. So what will work is putting them in first and then should line up, be able to push them in. Yeah, so that worked good. Coming in from the side and the rear, I got the bolts in, and then I just brought it in through this opening actually with my right hand. Supported it with my left hand here and got all the bolts in. Torque value on that, I believe it is, so those bolts are 16.5 to 18 pound-foot. I set my torque wrench to 17, and then it beeps at me when I get close to it or I go over just a hair, so then I know I'm good. I'm in the center. I'm gonna get this mounted, get the hoses installed, and those do have a torque value, but I don't know. I don't have an open end wrench torque like that. I don't know how you would do that, but the hoses are there, 36.2 to 43.4 pound-foot, which is pretty hefty. So I mean, they want you to tighten them on pretty good. I did find useful, again, another installation tip with that second remote valve. I threw a clamp on my first remote valve lever to kind of hold it in place and not let it drop down. That definitely helped if you don't have a helper. Never have enough hands or arms, do you? Okay. All right, so I got it all installed. I fired her up and no leaks. Got the second remote there. all hooked up. These are red hoses, and the diagram will show you. Just gotta zip tie them on there still, but your top hose, so like the top, will go on the left if you're sitting on the tractor looking back, or on the outside towards the tire. And then the bottom hose, boop, will go on the inside, or on the right if you're sitting on it. Usually stuff's always while you're sitting on it. No leaks, everything was good. I'm not sure, I got the wrong hoses, unfortunately. Of course, these are valve types, which is fine. This end, I needed 3/8 instead of 1/2 inch, which I used on my top link. But since this is for a smaller tilt side link, which I did go with the HSL 2201, is what I ordered. And that's what the dealer had quoted me as well. Just the holes here. I don't have the bungs out, but they're smaller, so just need to order different hoses. The fun of when you're not going through the dealer. All right, cool. Hopefully that helps people, and I'll try to answer any questions if you leave them in the comments. Best luck. Have a good one.